this slide, the surface pipework connections were completed using electrofusion welding, using dual pre-insulated 50mm headers connecting each of the boreholes shown in the top left picture individually, one by one, and running each one of those circuits to the central manifold chamber, which is in the central picture on the bottom. And the manifold chamber then has two main header pipes, a flow and a return pipe, which are connected back into the plant room. And the picture on the right there shows that with the wall of the plant room just behind the grey insulation. And as you can see, the plant room is underground to minimize the visual impact. So some of the challenges and considerations for this project, given that it is a very central location, and it's also a very historically important site where the space for the geothermal array, and we are fortunate that the Rubrics building has a square directly behind it, so that was the immediate location for the geothermal collector. However, due to its long history, the site has many archaeological artifacts located below the ground, including walls of buried abbeys and previous buildings which had to be considered. Also, in addition to that, the existing trees that are that you can see in both of the pictures on the screen, some of those are up to 200 years old, so there were critical measures that needed to be implemented in order to preserve their root structure, as they too were preserved and listed items on the building. So some of the mitigation measures around that were to do careful GPR surveys to identify all of the utilities and to some extent some of the archaeological features, and then liaise very, very carefully with the arborists to try and understand the landscaping requirements to prevent any impact to the tree root structures. So post completion, the pavilion was also installed on top of the geothermal collector, which you can see during the building phase there. So that space was actually reserved for installing this temporary building, which did require micropiling and needed some careful planning during the surface pipework connection phase. So finally, the final commissioning and startup of the building was completed in December 2022. And you can see the 3 heat pumps I showed in the schematic earlier there, placed in the underground plant room. This is a view of what the plant room looks like today. And those 3 heat pumps actually cover 100% of the space heating and the domestic hot water for the historical building. And the picture on the right-hand side actually shows you what is left effectively of the geothermal collector. You can see pretty much nothing aside from a very small access point to the manifold chamber just near the trees there that you can see in the photograph. So now onto some performance data. You can see here we've picked out performance of the Rubrics building and the heat pumps, particularly of heat pump 1. So this is for space heating during the month of January. And on the right-hand side of the curve, you can see there is actually a period in January where we had some very, very cold weather with snow. The green lines show the temperatures to and from the geothermal collector, and you can see that those are quite steady over time. And you can see the red and pink lines above it are the secondary side temperatures delivered by the heat pump.